Welcome to my YouTube channel, Mirror of Death. It started with the feeling of being watched. At first, Lily Chambers thought it was just her imagination, a side effect of too much coffee and too many late-night horror movies. She'd recently moved to a small town in upstate New York for a quieter life, renting a modest one-story house on the edge of a forest. It was peaceful, cheap, and smelled faintly of pine and old wood, but the nights there felt too quiet, almost unnatural. The first incident happened on her third night. Lily woke up around 2:43 a.m., heart racing, convinced someone was standing in her room. The moonlight spilled through the half-open curtains, illuminating her bed and the dresser across from it. She saw nothing, no movement, no shadow, just the silence of the forest outside. She brushed it off as a bad dream. The next morning, she found muddy footprints on the floor just inside the bedroom window. They were small, almost childlike. She lived alone. She called the landlord, who shrugged it off, saying, "Probably a raccoon. Happens out here." But raccoons don't leave human footprints, and they don't press tiny handprints against the glass, like the ones she later noticed near her window. That night, she locked every door and window, turned on her bedside lamp, and tried to sleep. At 3:11 a.m., the lamp flickered. A faint scratching sound came from the wall behind her bed, slow and deliberate, as if something was tracing its way along the drywall. She froze, barely breathing. The scratching stopped, then came again, closer this time. She turned, half expecting to see someone standing there. Instead, she saw the faint outline of a face pressed against the window pane, pale and still. She screamed and jumped up, knocking over the lamp. By the time she turned the light back on, the face was gone. The police came the next morning. They searched the woods but found no footprints, no signs of forced entry, nothing at all. Probably a prank, one of the officers said, but Lily could tell he didn't believe it either. That night, she set up her phone on a tripod to record her sleep. If someone or something was coming into her room, she'd catch them. She hit record and went to bed. The next morning, she found muddy footprints on the floor just inside the bedroom window. They were small, almost childlike. She lived alone. She called the landlord, who shrugged it off, saying, "Probably a raccoon. Happens out here." But raccoons don't leave human footprints, and they don't press tiny handprints against the glass, like the ones she later noticed near her window. At 4:03 a.m., the video ended abruptly, the screen going black as if something had covered the lens. Lily didn't sleep the next night. She left all the lights on and sat in the living room with a kitchen knife in her lap. Around 2 a.m., her phone started ringing from her own number. When she answered, she heard breathing on the other end, slow and wet, followed by a whisper, "Don't look away." Then the call disconnected. The power went out moments later. She grabbed her flashlight and swept the beam around the room. Everything looked normal until she saw the footprints again, leading from the back door to the hallway. They stopped at her bedroom door, which was now slightly ajar. She wanted to run, but couldn't move. The flashlight flickered, and for a brief moment, she saw them. 5 figures standing at the end of the hallway. They were tall, thin, their skin almost gray, their eyes huge and glassy like a doll's. They didn't walk, they glided, their movements jerky and wrong. One of them tilted its head, as if curious. Then, as the light died completely, she heard them whisper together, dozens of soft voices blending into a single phrase, "We watch you while you sleep." Lily screamed, stumbling backward, but the floor felt soft under her feet, like something living. She tripped and fell, the flashlight rolling away. When it flickered back on, they were gone. But the door to the basement was wide open. She had never noticed that door before. Her heart pounded as she crept closer. The air from below smelled like damp earth and rot. The stairs creaked as she descended, the darkness swallowing her light. About halfway down, she saw something carved into the wall. Hundreds of handprints, small and large, pressed deep into the stone. Some were fresh, still slick with something dark. At the bottom of the stairs stood an old wooden chair. Tied to it with ropes and duct tape was a man, emaciated, trembling, his mouth gagged. His eyes went wide when he saw Lily, and he shook his head violently as if warning her. Before she could move, something stepped out from behind him. One of the pale figures. Its movements were wrong, like a puppet being pulled by invisible strings. It leaned close to the man and whispered something into his ear. The man started sobbing. Lily turned and ran, tripping up the stairs. She slammed the basement door shut and pushed a chair against it, shaking uncontrollably. The whispering didn't stop. It seeped through the wood, soft and rhythmic, repeating the same words over and over. "Don't look away." By morning, the house was silent. The police found her front door open, lights still on, but Lily was gone. The only thing left behind was her phone, still recording. The footage showed her asleep again in bed, peaceful, still, until the same pale figures crawled into the frame. One of them leaned down close to her ear and whispered something that made her eyes snap open in terror. She sat up suddenly, as if pulled by unseen hands, then turned her head toward the camera. Her eyes were black. The video ended there. 2 weeks later, a new family moved into the house. They laughed off the rumors about the missing tenant and unpacked their things. On their first night, the youngest child told his mother someone was standing by his bed. "It's okay," he said sleepily. "They said they just want to watch." Because that's what they do. They watch you while you sleep.